really a struggle over the last few years for graduate students, postdocs, to be in my lab or come to my lab, and it's like, well, I want to do cavity 3D, we don't do that anymore. I want to do VLCC, we don't do that anymore. So it's been really challenging, and these people really want to. But just want to start with one moment of, I was struck in the talks that some people think cavity 3D is zero T. And I never thought of cavity 3D that way. I've always thought of it as a way to, get light in and out, essentially, of atoms, and to solve this problem of light going into 3 dimensions. Since my days in graduate school of trying to see photon statistics, it's a pain in the ass to collect fluorescence from quantum optics. So a long time ago, we posed this paper about, hey, we want to make one-dimensional atoms. We didn't have a waveguide. We had collimated beams. Collimated beams are the waveguides of free space. So I've never thought of cavity 3D as being in the optical domain, light that's in and out. Along the way, quantum optics is learning, but output formula is essential, but this little gadget to me is always something different. On the other hand, it's got a lot of dimensional cavity 3D, a lot of AMO physics has problems with efficiency and coupling. So what I've been working on for a while is to try to integrate nanophotonics and atomic physics. The motivation is clear. 10 to the 6 is pretty straightforward to get the Pauli factors and the dielectric structure. 10 to the 7 is demonstrated. You get efficient input-output coupling. Terry Bahala in his nano and his microspheres is measured 99.97. Can you believe that? So there's just all kinds of different dielectrics. Metal is evil. So no plasmonics, and what we'd like to do is give these remarkable technical wonders of quantum functionality by putting atoms in. So that's the simple story. And, relative to free space atoms, you get big optical depth. Cavity 3D, which critical photon numbers that are just unheard of. So it seems like there's really a quantitative improvement in the kind of coupling. But one of the things I want to emphasize is that qualitatively, that this is not just the same stuff smaller, it's really new frontiers. And so this is something you'll know about, this is something you'll know about. But quantum many-body physics are really just different things that really like to interact with this. And this is just some cartoon. Everything I'll tell you about today is photonic. You'll know about Oscar Painter's spectacular work to really harness phonons. I think we have a possibility to finally do atoms, photons, and phonons. So the star of the show is going to be the rear end of this guy. And that structure we reproduce in this little nanophotonic thing. We call them alligator photonic crystal waveguides. And this thing is designed so that we can fabricate it and have atoms trapped in it, and the atom is somewhat insensitive to the fabrication errors, which live out here mostly. These are planar surfaces. So if there's a little defect, this atom sees kind of an average. So it helps a lot with the wet chemistry of etching things away and making it really nice. So what can we do with it? Well, if we put an atom in there, I think it's completely reasonable to achieve an excited atom. 90% of the radiation, that's this ratio, goes into the waveguide gamma prime into all other modes, including lossy modes and guided modes I'm not interested in, but they're counted in this gamma prime, and we can make that ratio 10 to 1. That means that one atom can be a 90% reflector and transmit only 1% light. And the atoms are quantum reflectors. It's hyperfine levels of quantum functions. So that's interesting. Strong coupling in cavity 3D, you'll hear more about in Jeff Thompson's work, but next, the single photon Rabi frequency is, almost 2 orders of magnitude bigger than what you'll ever get in more conventional structures, including a toroid. Call that a conventional structure. But something that you might not have thought of in the first instance, so that the volumes are small, so the electric field is big for one atom, is that we can do something in these structures that you can never do in free space, and that's we can make two frequencies. This is just a simple diagram of the band structure. We can have two frequencies have the same length scale. So if you trap with one frequency and then a very different frequency in atom photon physics, they can have the same length scale, or would you like it to be 2 to 1? Or would you like it to be square root of pi? You just can't do that in free space, so it gives us tremendous flexibility. The other thing's already been mentioned in the talks. If we go near the band edge, in particular, I've learned about this physics in particles. You get this group velocity going to 0 in a really enhanced, simple way to say it's density states. You can get an enhanced coupling of an atom emitting into a waveguide. Now, take that one atom, and it's a big attenuator, strong interaction. Try to propagate light in this waveguide, then you know everybody knows about the photon. It's really large at some level of many-body physics associated with photon transport. Photon transport becomes well, and that leads to this the opportunity for quantum physics. I'm also quite interested in these little bitty spaces to think that we could really get serious about measuring vacuum forces, chemical forces. So let's start out in the band diagram. K, the projected wave vector along this direction, and the associated omega, and this periodicity and patterning here to the holes in them that drives the band gap. And we'll put the atomic frequency in this dispersive. Doesn't matter if it's up here or down here. It's freely propagated. Either I omega t minus kx. So what can we do? Well, an atom here can, in the excited state, spin up, emit a photon, and that photon can be absorbed over here to flip the spin. Or here to here, or here to everywhere. This is essentially infinite range. The range is limited only by retardation. So there's conservative Hamiltonian, shown here, and this thing is just, in this setting, it's just, very long range. This has the structure of a block range. There's also incoherent evolution, where instead of these two atoms doing a spin flip, coherently, this guy can flip down, and then we can have a separation. So, if we place the atoms in special space, and say the propagation space from here to here is pi, or something like that, this term is 0. So, we can have just this incoherent evolution. Let's talk about that. So that's the atom emitting here. That's the loss channel. We're into the waveguide. So, okay, it's spontaneous emission. It's scrubbing the Swimblatt, but we can still do this thing. So the phenomenology that I mentioned before is there's this reflectivity. You send light in, and the reflectivity and the transmissivity of an atom in this waveguide is just governed by how big is this gamma 1b compared to the other long wave. Well, impedance mismatch associated with light propagation. So that is the kind of figure of merit used throughout the talk. And it's just the Einstein A coefficient times how well you can concentrate the light, the radiated cross-section, divided by what the area is here. And then, well, you win because the group velocity at the band edge gets slower and slower, so there's longer. This effective area is something you have to think about. It's really important to worry about polarization, the atomic physics we want to do, both for trapping and interacting. But anyway, there's some simple expressions for this effective area. So, the two examples of this that we've heard about that are well known is an atom near a cylindrical waveguide, SiO2, like the 200 nanometers diameter, and if you put the atom right at the surface, then the best coupling you'll ever get is this ratio is 20%. If you're not at the surface, but what you can do with the dipole force trap.